Hello and welcome to Deadline Horror News Live for Wednesday, December 1st, 2021. I'm Josh. I'm joined here with Donnie.
Yo.
The Professor Smoke is usually with us, but he is on assignment. And Will is always on semi-permanent assignment for these live shows and all the other side gigs that we do. So neither of them are here tonight. It's just me and Donnie holding down the fort. But as always, I want to remind you to go down and click like and subscribe to the channel down below there and click on the bell to be notified when we go live or whenever we upload new videos so you don't miss anything. We want you to become a supporter of the Spook Show by going over to patreon.com/AA Spook Sign up to become a patron. We have levels starting at $1, $3, all the way up to $1,000 level that, you need to just go over to the Patreon page and check out what we've got going there. Of course, every Tuesday we have a new video minisode that goes up on the on our Patreon there, and the headline show there is the Library of the Professor, where Smoke will take something from his library and books, movies, whatever, and we'll talk about it. So that's always a good time every Tuesday. And of course, if you go over there, you also get early access to episodes. You get to vote in our monthly polls for like a movie that we're going to be watching the following month. So here in the next day or two, our December Patreon poll will be going live for a movie that we're going to be watching in January. But literally, as of last night at midnight, the November poll closed, and the winner was The Ginger Dead Man from 2005. So that is what we're going to be watching. I believe it's on the December 20th. Yeah, it's episode 87, the December 20th episode. Yeah. There you go. You see all that on the screen there.
Yep.
You can watch that on Full Moon has their own like little video service that you can subscribe to through Prime Video, or you can go over to Tubi and watch it for free. However you want to watch it, if you don't have a copy of it, there are various ways. But we'll actually that will be episode 87. Our current episode that just came out Monday was episode 84 of the podcast, and that was our latest Spook Show Spotlight, where we did the Holiday Horror Part 1, where we basically just focused on all of the Thanksgiving horror movies, Hanukkah horror movies, where there's only like one or two really, and then the handful of New Year's horror movies. We focused all those holidays on that episode because in 2 weeks on episode 86, we will be doing Part 2, and that's just where we're focusing directly on Christmas horror movies. So in a little less than 2 weeks, that'll be out. But next week is episode 85, and that's our next movie review. And this is the one that we haven't revealed basically until right now. We decided we were going to watch Silent Night, Deadly Night, the first of. There was 5 of the original line of movies, and then there was a kind of a loose remake. I don't know, within the last decade or so, just called Silent Night. So basically, this is the movie that started off, that basically spawned 5 more movies after that, believe it or not. So, that will be out next Monday, which is, what is next Monday? I'm blanking on the date.
Next Monday is the 6th.
Yep, December 6th at 6 p.m. East. Like we always say, every podcast episode is every Monday at 6 p.m. East. That's where you can usually find that, where you listen to your finer podcast, wherever they are dispensed. That's where that'll be the one next week. So, and if you're a patron, at least the $5 level over on patreon.com/AA Spook you will get the episode sooner than everyone else. We don't guarantee necessarily like, well, you're going to get it at this day at this time, but you will get it sooner than Monday at 6 p.m. East.
Yeah.
You'll get it before everyone else. So between that and the other stuff that we have, it's definitely worth checking out our Patreon. So, Donnie, I'll toss it to you. What are the latest deadlines in horror news?
Yeah, well, I think you, we were looking for images for this one, but and this was actually a really good one. So Nicolas Cage is coming back to, I guess, major studios with Universal's Dracula. It's going to be directed by Chris McKay, who also did the Tomorrow War, which I haven't seen yet, but heard good things about.
Same here.
As well as the Lego Batman movie. I haven't. It's not that I've heard good things about that. That's just tied to Chris McKay.
I actually have watched that. I have we got the kids, so like I've watched pretty much all those Lego movies, and that one's pretty good actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, Renfield. For those, I mean, shit. If you're watching the show, you should know. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Actually, the name of that movie is Renfield, right?
Yeah, Renfield.
Yeah, Renfield, and he's going to be Dracula in the movie, and
Yep.
so yeah, that should be interesting to say the least. Nicolas Cage is Dracula, because I think that picture is from that movie. What was like the Vampire's Kiss or whatever the hell that movie was back in the 90s.
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
So, yeah. So I guess it's destiny that he actually played Dracula eventually. So
yeah,
should be interesting.
Yeah, world has a way of doing whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck that means, but yeah. All right. Yeah. So Malignant, we've seen this. We watched this. We've talked about this probably at more length than it needs to be discussed.
Oh, but, no, we haven't. We haven't come near talking to this as much as we need to.
Okay.
That being said, we will. I'm not putting a firm date on it, but we will probably be watching that in January.
Oh,
just a little tease ahead there.
Oh yeah. We did discuss that. I forgot.
Yeah. So we will be watching that one. I think there's going to be a lot to be said about that movie.
Yeah. Well, apparently there is a sequel being discussed, and I cannot. I put disgust in bold, underlined,
not
capital letters.
Not disgust, but disgust.
Not disgust, but disgust.
Yeah. So more Gabriel is coming our way.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Also, kind of like this is a new feature for DHN Deadline Horror News. Is our ticker, our little ticker down below, has some reminders and sort of extra news that we won't cover here, but it's just kind of a cool little thing we added.
Yeah, if you don't feel like listening to us or looking at us or whatever, you can just read that shit on the bottom there and just.
There you go. It's not going to tell you the same stuff. It's like you don't get the full experience.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting in church,
it's all part of the immersive experience known as the Spook Show.
That's what we do. That's what we do, man. But yeah. So moving on from Malignant, Halloween Kills, the extended cut. We covered this. I think it was episode 75.
No,
I'm sorry, 79.
79. Yep.
Yeah. So Halloween Kills is the extended cut. It's supposed to, as you can see on the screen there. More kills, a alternate ending. That should be interesting.
No, you have to say it the way it says there. More thrills and more kills.
I always skip that shit. But no,
more kills is always good with these types of movies, and an alternate ending could be interesting, especially considering the third one of these, this sequels or whatever that comes out next year. So it'll be interesting to see if that
Halloween Ends,
if that jives with
good point. To see if it ties it together a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
all I think we've ever heard about that one is that there's going to be a jump in time, because that movie Halloween Kills basically picks up right where Halloween from a few years ago. The movie ends, this one picks right up. Yep. So this next one, Halloween Ends, is supposed to be 4 or 5 years later or whatever. And now, we
did discuss that. I think in previous.
Yeah, that should be interesting.
Yeah, should be cool, man. But Halloween Kills should be on, I believe it's on Blu-ray and 4K in January. Now, Amazon, I don't know if I've already mentioned this or not, but Amazon lists the extended cut. Their release date is December 13th, whereas in iTunes, I thought iTunes was just dead in the water, but apparently no. So iTunes has it at for December 14th. So I don't know if Amazon is getting a early release date, or if who's gonna give say we were wrong. Sorry, Amazon, or sorry, Apple. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, still kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
we'll definitely. I'm sure at least one or two of us will check that out, and then we'll report back
Yeah.
whenever that exists, and we can talk about what those alternate cuts are.
Yep. All right. In 4K. So we some 4K releases. You see The Howling. Was it
That was
Peter Jackson?
That one sticks in my head because we talked about that one on episode 69.
The
Howling.
The Howling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but no, you've got some legendary cover art. I like, cover art is it's back before there were I want to say back before there were trailers. But you go into a video store, cover art is what sold you on, whether you wanted to rent that movie or not.
Yeah.
So, but no, you got some good posters in there, good cover art.
There's a lot of good cover art going on that screen. I mean, you got all those Peter Jackson movies being released eventually. Now, what I read about that was like these are basically like he's talked about doing this for years, like going back to his early horror days. Meet the Feebles and Brain Dead and all that, and doing a 4K restoration and everything, and then releasing. So like, The Howling is definitely coming out. These movies might come out eventually, on Peter Jackson time, and then Alligator and Alligator 2 are coming out, and those are all going to be like 4K releases, 4K restorations. So, yeah.
Yeah, that, and an alligator in 4K. Just like being there, just like being in the water.
And just like Spook Show family member Tiana just said, so many good titles coming out.
Yes. Hey. All right.
So
it really is.
Smoke isn't here, but Mrs. Smoke is
yeah.
She's live.
Thanks for representing. Airport.
Yeah, these are some good. These definitely are some good titles, and I'd love to check out that animated werewolf sex scene from The Howling in 4K.
Yeah, really looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool.
No, it'll be good. Yeah. Plus, some of these we'll probably get to.
No, not some. We will get to all eventually. It's just a matter of when, not if.
Yeah. But yeah, that pretty much rounds out the horror news as far as deadlines. Sorry, just kind of jumped the gun there.
Oh God! now, spoiler alert! Now everybody knows.
Shit.
Everybody knows what's going to happen. Just cancel this whole fucking thing.
The whole one person that's watching. Thanks, Tiana.
So we got two conventions that I could find, or fan experiences, however you want to label it. The first one we got there is the LA Comic-Con 2021, of course, in Los Angeles, California. That is this Friday through Sunday, December 3rd to the 5th. Guests there include, as you see on the screen, Bruce Campbell, Doug Jones, Frank Miller. There's a lot of names. Like, I'll be honest with you, a lot of them aren't like horror related. These are just some of the names that we found that, were definitely horror related. Frank Miller being one of the, better comic creators and, creators period of our day. But, of course, Bruce Campbell and Doug Jones, lots of horror connections there, but tons of other, it's in LA. So surprise, surprise. There's a lot of cool, guests and everything they got lined up there. So go to ComicConLA.com for information, tickets, everything on that. And then one more that I could dig up, Jekyll and Hyde Multi-Fandom Con 2021 in Brunswick, Georgia. So I'm pretty sure Brunswick's like right outside Atlanta, right?
I don't know. I just know Brunswick from the bowling manufacturer.
Yeah. I don't know if the two are connected or not. I really don't know. But
I don't know.
Yeah, could be. Who knows? But it's going to be at the Glen Place Mall there in Brunswick, Georgia. And mostly, apparently, this, you can see it kind of on the screen. I can't really read it, but it's like Pop Vault and something.
Yeah, let me
right there. Yeah,
let me blow that out a little bit.
Yeah, it's right there, and you can see like the other one there. There's some kind of Heroes or something like that. They're putting this on, and apparently
Hall of Heroes.
Hall of Heroes. They've got like 3 stores inside that mall that it looked like to me. So like basically, it's going to be like there's going to be like gaming stuff going on in one store, comic book stuff in another, so on and so forth. It's going to be cosplay panels. There's like a restaurant or something like that, like in the mall or near the mall,
Yeah.
where a lot of these panels and stuff are going to be going on. So a lot of little things, So if you're in that area this weekend, and by the way, that's only on Saturday, December 4th. So that's just a 1-day little gathering convention there. But if you're looking for something to do and you're in the Brunswick, Georgia area, there you go. So that's the only 2 things that we can find. There might be something else. We've been known to skip a few every now and then.
Yeah.
We get called out for, but those are the only 2 that I could find. The box office report for this past weekend. Now, this is for the weekend of November 26th to the 28th. That's the numbers that you see there on the screen.
Yep.
But you also kind of like these numbers kind of include the fact that some of the new releases came out on Wednesday, because of the Thanksgiving holiday last week. So the number on there, the total gross is a little higher for all those movies for all these movies on the list.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go from bottom up like usual. Number 10 all the way down from number 6 last week. Venom: Let There Be Carnage, in its 9th week, so it's finally starting to fall down the charts now that some new stuff's come out. Number 9 fell down 2 spots from 7. The latest James Bond flick, No Time to Die, in its 8th week. Number 8 down from number 5 last week. Dune, in its 6th week. Number 7 down from number 4, King Richard. That's the Williams sisters, like biopic of their dad or whatever.
Yep.
That's in its 2nd week. Went from 4 to 7. Number 6, the biggest horror release of the year, Clifford the Big Red Dog, in its 3rd week. Number 5, the big horror opening this week, Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City, which is kind of like a reboot. I guess reboot's probably as good a word as any for that, because it's not connected to like the original 4 or 5 Resident Evil flicks that have come out before. I think this one's supposed to be more based around, the video games. So that was the big opening last week. It opened at for the weekend, it made 5.3 million. But, if you include like Wednesday and Thursday, it made 8.8 million for its opening week. So not bad. Number 4, Eternals, down from number 2. That's the latest Marvel flick. Number 3 in its opening week, House of Gucci, the Lady Gaga and Adam Driver. Like, good Lord, there's all kinds of names in that one. I think like Al Pacino, tons. It's one of those early Oscar buzz type flicks. It opened up to a pretty big opening, 14.4 on the weekend, a little over 22 million overall. Number 2, down from number 1, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Holiday weekend and everything combined, it made 24.2 over the weekend for a total so far in 2 weeks of $87.5 million. So definitely not bad at all. Mm-hmm. And number 1, the latest Disney animated flick, Encanto, made 27.2 over the weekend. Add the holiday in, 40.5 million for the 5-day holiday weekend there. So that is the latest box office numbers. Only one new release. Usually we've got at least 5 to 6, because there'll be somewhere around there. There's usually at least 4 to 6, because there'll be something on Shudder, there'll be something on a Friday, the new release, and then maybe a couple of Blu-ray releases. All we have is one Blu-ray release this week, and that's next Tuesday, December 7th. Broadcast Signal Intrusion comes out, and that's directed by Jacob Gentry, who did The Signal, and apparently there was some MTV movies called My Super Psycho Sweet 16, and there was 3 of them, and this dude did all 3 of them. So I've never heard of it, but apparently they are a thing, and he did them all. So that's his little tidbit of his resume going into this. But I read the synopsis, and this actually looks pretty interesting. Like some dude that works at like a TV station or something goes through some old archive tapes and finds some weird shit, and then it just leads him down the rabbit hole of trying to figure out what this weird shit is. So it sounded pretty interesting. But yeah, that's the only new release this week, and that's on Blu-ray and DVD next Tuesday the 7th. And then we've got one horror anniversary date this week. Writer, producer, director Jimmy Sangster was born on December 2nd, 1927. As you can see on the screen, he passed away on August 19th of 2011, so that was a little over 10 years ago. But he is known for basically he's a horror films icon. He directed a handful, but he wrote a lot of movies for Hammer. He wrote and directed The Horror of Frankenstein. He wrote the Curse of Frankenstein, Horror of Dracula, The Revenge of Frankenstein, Maniac, and like literally dozens more for Hammer and other studios too. But like I said, unfortunately, he passed 10 years ago. But yeah, we just wanted to be in remembrance of him since it was his birthday would be tomorrow. So Jimmy Sangster. I guess that's really all we had for this week. And, okay, and then there was that. I forgot about that too.
This is where I originally had it. Behind the scenes, like it's just when you said Ginger Dead Man, I was like, oh shit. Yeah, I have it on the list.
That was all the way at the end.
It was all the way at the end. But yeah,
there you have it. Just as a reminder, that won the November poll, so we're going to be watching that episode 87 on December 20th. But like I said at the top, episode 84 is the one that just came out this past Monday, and that is the Spook Show Spotlight Holiday Horror Part 1. The next Monday, episode 85, is our next movie review, Silent Night, Deadly Night from 1984. We're going to be watching that, and there you see on the screen all the various social platforms and everything you can find us. Remember, Deadline Horror News live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Patreon.com/AASpookShow for video minisodes, monthly polls, early access, bonus stuff, out the yin yang over there if you join us over on Patreon. I guess we got one question here before we tap out tonight. Cash 5000 says, "What's your favorite urban legend?"
Ooh, man.
Of course, he's being silly, and he says his is the old Ripley Rop, which
favorite urban legend, man.
You have to be in the greater Charlotte area to know what the hell he's talking about there. But yeah, favorite urban legend.
Oh man, you know what? I would probably say I don't even know if it's an urban legend though. I was born in West Virginia. My folks are basically West Virginia natives from kind of transplanted here many years ago. But I would probably say Mothman. Mothman is pretty interesting.
Yeah. Or you could just go with the old. I'm guessing Bigfoot, right? That'd be an urban legend. Stuff like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, you said favorite.
Yeah.
That's one
I'm just thinking of some other ones. Like that would be like I guess the most popular one would be unless you don't think it's an urban legend. Bigfoot might be real. Oh God! Well, all right. Well, we've done enough silliness for today. So that's the way we're going to kick off the holiday season. Is with that. We're going to leave you.
Great question.
Yeah. So come back next week for another edition of Deadline Horror News, and of course, every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern, new podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. All the other things, you know where to find us. So for Will and the Professor Smoke, and of course Donnie, I'm Josh. We are from the All-American Spookshow Horror Podcast, and we will talk to you next week.
See you guys.